Hey guys, it's Will with Adventures in Anime. Subscribe, thank you! Today we're talking about the score, that's right, the OST, the original soundtrack, for Lilliputian. So I have already done a video talking about my impressions of having watched Lilliputian. This is a horror sci-fi anime that's basically like if you took The Thing, the John Carpenter one, and you took Aliens, the James Cameron film, or no, the Ridley Scott, excuse me, it's the Ridley Scott original, 1979. I apologize. And you stitch those two things together, you have Lilliputian. And I really enjoyed watching this. It's pretty short. It's really well written. It's fun. It's violent. It's sci-fi if you're into that kind of thing. So I put up my video, and then Logan, who is a good friend of mine, who edits these videos for us, and he's been in like some other stuff we've done for 80s Nerdgasm, for Vinyl Appreciation Society, all around good dude and awesome collaborator. He told me that I had to listen to the score independently of the film. And he's like, you gotta just like check it out. It's awesome, because he loves anime music. And so he actually sent me the score. And so I thought, I'm trying to keep these videos short, as I said before, and I want to keep them 10 minutes or less. I think I've done 3 or 4 that have gone longer than 10 minutes. But one of the easiest ways to make it less than 10 minutes is if there's a big topic shoved in the middle of it, I just take that out and I make it its own video. And so I will be doing separate videos about the music from these films, because I really think that merits its own space. So Lilliputian was released in 1987, and the music was composed by Akira Inoue, who is a keyboardist and composer in Japan. And so the songs on here are, for the most part, really short. They're like 2 minutes or so. There's a couple that I think are around 5 minutes. Those are like the big themes, really. And the main note that I wrote to myself when I was listening to this score, independent of the film, because I only remembered actually like 2 pieces of the music from the movie. The note I wrote to myself was, it sounds like they're trying to use every single setting on the synthesizer to justify having bought it, because it's like so eclectic. And there's pieces of it that I loved, and pieces of it that were just like so 80s and so Japan 80s, so anime 80s, that they're like really fun, even though they're not my cup of tea. There's like some of it that sounds like video game music. There's one piece that reminded me, or 1 or 2 pieces that reminded me a lot of Prince, that has that huge drum sound. And that, Prince has like a very unique sound. And when someone's copying Prince, you can very obviously tell that they're copying Prince. Like a band like In Excess, right? They very clearly have huge inspiration from Prince, and you can just really, really hear it. And so a couple of the pieces really reminded me of Prince. There's one that's like a glam metal song where like as soon as it started, I was like, yes! It's like, I don't want to say Motley Crue, because Motley Crue is actually heavier than most of that 80s glam metal, but like, I don't know, like Warrant or like some kind of band like that. Poison, maybe Poison is the best point of comparison. Is Poison like, I can see this video in my head of these guys in spandex with huge hair, like neon spandex, like leaping around on like wires, like kung fu actors, but not Van Halen. I'm a huge Van Halen fan, and I know Van Halen, and it's not Van Halen. And this is like cornier than Van Halen, and not musically. I mean, very few things are musically as good as Van Halen. This is very much not musically Van Halen. The opening piece to this I really loved. It starts out, it's almost like this John Carpenter-esque synth-based, like really sinister kind of like drone of the kind of thing you expect to hear in like dark 80s sci-fi. And then it turns orchestral, and it's this almost like gothic, like orchestral theme that actually kind of reminded me of the Crimson Peak score. If you're familiar with the Guillermo del Toro film, that has this really great like gothic orchestral score that is very befitting of the setting and the tone of that film. And it kind of reminded me of that, and it was really cool. And the way it moves from the one movement to the other, and the way you have like these synthetic drums and pulsing synthesizers, and it moves into this orchestral thing, is really cool, and I really appreciated that. And there's a piece at the end that has like some really cool, like chilled out mellow vibes that I really liked. But my general impression is like, Lilliputian being this film from 1987 that's like a violent horror sci-fi space movie anime. The music is exactly what you would expect from an 80s violent sci-fi space anime film. Like, it's very 80s, it's very Japan. It's very anime. And some of it reminded me of video game music. I may have already said that. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. I'm not a huge fan of video game music, but I know that that's like a big thing with a lot of people. I know that video game and anime have a lot of overlap with their audiences, and also I think probably with the people who are creating them at some point in time. So that doesn't really surprise me. I'm just looking at my notes to see if there's anything obvious that I left out. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. There's like an acoustic pop song in here that's like a little cheesy. That's like the kind of thing that you would expect to hear in like an anime. You know how like oftentimes an anime series at the end will have like that corny acoustic song over the credits. It has like that kind of music too. So my name is Will, and this is Adventures in Anime, and I'm talking about the Lily Cat score, 1987. If there are other anime OST that you want me to check out, please tell me, and I will go and check them out. Like I really, really am loving diving into all this stuff. I already have the Wicked City soundtrack. This original soundtrack, OST, that's what that stands for, right? Original soundtrack, right? Yeah. And I have the Cowboy Bebop one. So I will be doing videos soon on both of those. But if there's anything else you can think of, let me know. I'm trying to find the Demon City Shinjuku one. I know that there's a vinyl version of it that's pretty expensive. It's like $40 or more. Gogol 13 score was also, the OST was just released on vinyl, so I'm thinking about buying those. I don't have a ton of money. I'm on the fence about it, but if you know where I can go and listen to them, like streaming maybe, and I could review them and then think about the vinyl in the future, please let me know. Like I said, Adventures in Anime, I'm Will. We will see you next time.